Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we got for you here. The SEC, we got Fidelity getting into the game even deeper. Circle back by Goldman Sachs, Russia Chamber of Commerce and cross-border payments with crypto and CBDCs. An update on the SEC versus Ripple case with Jeremy Hogan. An XRP price $2, $3 plus, $13. Is it still on the table? We're going to hear from a technical analyst. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at Dig Perspectives at the top of the screen right here. And everything that we're talking about today, it's $1.878 trillion market cap for crypto. We are up only 0.08%. It is April 15th, 2022. Good afternoon. Bitcoin 40,400 plus, Ethereum 3,000 plus right now. And we see XRP back at the number 6 spot at 77 cents. It's up 7.46%, over 8% as of this morning on the 24 hour. Let's take a look at the range of price. 72 cents on the bottom, 81 cents slightly over on the top of the price range for XRP. Ladies and gentlemen, numbers are brought to you by Masterworks. Look, I love investing in fine art. This is commoditized art you can buy for $20 a share. And this is John Michael Basquiat, and this is some of the most incredible American artwork you're ever going to see. Him, Andy Warhol, and so many others. I've invested in a good handful on this platform, but this just became available right here, and it's already 77% almost fully vested. You can invest right now. Don't leave me out of the game. I haven't had a chance to get a position and buy some shares on this painting, but I'm going to. I love Basquiat's work here, and there's so many other great artists as well, so do not hesitate. Take a look at some of it right here. All of this and their similar works from these artists are outperforming by a long shot the S&P 500. No doubt about it. Link underneath the video. Check them out. I will put it there for you. Right here, we see Cardano, founder of Charles Hoskinson, has proposed creating a new decentralized social media platform from scratch together with Tesla's Elon Musk in the case of the centibillionaire's audacious attempt to take over Twitter fails. So listen, we'll see how this goes here in case it fails. So what we're looking at here is the potential, because we know that Elon Musk has put an offer in to buy Twitter, right? And he's talked about bringing in an algorithm to try to take out this the faction that is Twitter, running Twitter, that is using censorship to censor out everything that seems to be heavily conservative that they don't like. They do a lot of shadow banning and straight up censoring too, and it is really, really kind of scary when you think about how much control they have. We'll see what happens with all this, and we'll follow it. But shout out to Charles for throwing his hat in the ring and his network. Take a look here. I covered this yesterday, but very quickly I want to go over this because Bitcoin Lightning Network Strike app is failing miserably. And I tell you, I say that with no real pleasure other than I understood that it would, because Bitcoin's technology is unnecessary as proof of work. Now, there's a lot of people getting upset to hear that, but you know what? Don't believe it. It's still true. You know, I'm not saying it doesn't have a future, but if it's going to remain proof of work, it's going to be very limited at best. Think of this for a moment. Think of this for a moment. Remember the first cell phone you had? Why don't you still have it anymore? Because you made an upgrade. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Imagine when Apple came out with the first iPad or the first iPhone. Imagine them saying, this is the new iPhone, and we're never upgrading it. This is what the maxis have been saying here, and then they bring in the Lightning Network, and it doesn't even work. So this is a problem, and I think Matt Hamilton summed up the coverage from CNBC. It took 2 hours, sometimes 8 hours, to get our money. We held up the line in the supermarket for 10 minutes trying to get it to work, and they were double charged. It's really a shame they didn't just go with a more tested, scalable, reliable network like the XRP ledger. Shout out to Matt Hamilton. Yeah, looks like the island life is suiting you, my friend. Look right here. We see nonprofit blockchain advocacy group Coin Center has called the Securities Exchange Commission's SEC proposed redefinition of an exchange an unconstitutional overreach. Shocker. You know, if we can say one thing, I think that every person would agree on is Gary Gensler does not embarrass very easily, right? You know the thing that's scary about Gary Gensler? If he was still the head of the CFTC, he'd be making an argument about how all cryptos should be under his purview there if he was in that chair again. Don't believe that. I think it's still true. Eleanor Tarrant reminds us something here that John Deaton told us all about just a short time ago, and that's there's bigger things that we should be worried about at the SEC, and it's the profit, the personal gain, and financial interest, it would seem, of William Hinman and possibly of Jay Clayton as well, while at the SEC, and knowing full well he was warned by the compliance division inside the SEC that he was in conflict, and he refused to heed the warnings of the ethics staffers. Right here, cryptocurrencies have a bright future, says CoinDesk magazine, but they're still too hard for most people to use, including those living in underserved communities. I think this is an excellent point. I think this goes to show you where we are on the arc of adoption. And I don't mind telling you, I pulled this piece just so I could tell you this is why I'm invested in things like XRP, XLM, because they serve the back end. And that's why I'm invested in it. Because, you know, when you're talking about getting down to the ground level of the consumer and citizens and that kind of interplay of practical application, I think you're in the final stages at that point of real crypto adoption as far as I'm concerned. And that's why I've been invested in the back end. And look, I'm willing, I've waited this long, 2017 I've been here, and I'm not going anywhere. And this is the kind of stuff that keeps me here. Financial services behemoth Fidelity is venturing into the world of digital assets by announcing new crypto and metaverse exchange traded funds. Yeah, that's right. The $4.2 trillion financial giant Fidelity Investment is launching into the metaverse and wanting to use these exchange-traded funds to do so. It just keeps getting bigger, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely love it. And around the world, really quickly here, we see Portuguese-based bank Bison Bank has received permission from Portugal's central bank, Banco de Portugal, to operate as a VASP, which is a virtual asset service provider, making the first bank in the country to be given the green light. It's rolling out everywhere, even though it might not feel like it. And this is very big news here at home in the United States. Don't believe this. It's still true. Goldman Sachs backed Circle Internet Financial Limited, which is where the home of the USD coin is, has said it's looking to apply for a U.S. bank charter soon, according to Bloomberg News report. Now that, to me, is the next huge step to see the USDC coin become the really retail-facing private public relationship stablecoin for the United States digital dollar. That's what I see happening. And right here, we see on the other side of the world here, in other areas, it's the Chamber of Commerce of Industry for Russia that says they are proposing a cross-border settlement in cryptocurrencies and central bank digital currencies. How about that one? How apt and timely is this, knowing the Russia-Ukraine conflict and the SWIFT sanctions, understanding that BRICS coalition does have their own financial payment system set up, that China and Russia already have a financial payment system, all of which is specifically designed to obfuscate SWIFT. That's where we're at. Now, in the case of the SEC, and an update on what's going on, we've heard from John Deaton. We hear from Jim Filan on all the recent developments. We hear from so many others, and today, Attorney Hogan has stopped celebrating his 50th birthday long enough to give us all an update. And happy birthday to you, my Aries brother, because I just had a birthday 2 days ago myself. Let's take a listen to this. I've got it queued up right here. I want you to hear what he's got to say from this spot right here. Watch this whole video, by the way, because as always, it is remarkable. But I want to give you this about the SEC appeal to the recent denied motion. Take a listen.
An email. Now, if that's the part the SEC doesn't want Ripple to see because it kills their case, that is also something, in theory, the judge's order would allow the SEC to redact. So, how will we know if the SEC is going to try and redact the really bad stuff for them? Well, that's simple. If the SEC tries further to hide these documents by filing an additional appeal, then I think it's fair to say that the clarification part of the order does not cover the bad stuff, and the SEC is in trouble. Now, if the SEC doesn't appeal this order, well then I think that they think they can hide whatever is bad for them under this order of clarification.
So quite simply, he's saying that if they do not appeal it, then they have the luxury to redact certain things and comments inside of these documents that will be submitted. And if they feel they can cover up everything that is damning with redactions, they won't appeal. But if they do, then he feels like that is going to be a huge signal that the SEC is really in trouble. Take a listen.
Makes sense? I mean, why appeal it
Sure does.
if you're going to be able to hide it, right? So what happens from here? Now, the SEC has 14 days to file an objection of the order up to Judge Torres, and then Ripple will have 14 days to respond to that objection. So look out for an SEC appeal on or before April 26, which is 14 days. Now, based on
Now, so that's what we're looking at. We're looking on that base, an appeal to come in. And in this particular case, as he reminds us, an appeal from the SEC in this regard would actually be a huge positive signal, as he said to us. Go watch this whole video. It's phenomenal. But, you know, that is a big signal that if they do appeal, that, you know, they are really in trouble, because if they're appealing, then they know it's not something they can cover up through redaction. So now let's take a look at this. Here we go.
So, with this order, as Attorney Deaton said, quote, the SEC is now officially in the hurt locker. And also, I will leave you with this from my Twitter friend, Attorney Bill, the lawyer from down under. Sounds like a...
And he nails it here. And this is what we covered yesterday. So just to go over this very quickly again, Bill actually says, as Jeremy Hogan endorses here, this is a sweet spot for a settlement, because every lawyer does risk assessments to figure out where they are as they move through the information of the case as it's coming in. And what he suggests here is that now is the sweet spot for settlement for several reasons. He bases thinking on experience as his litigation lawyer. And he says here, basically through the risk assessment and through everything that you take into account, the conducting of litigation is to increase the client's leverage in negotiations. And he's basically saying, so before the SEC, in this 2-week window that they have to respond on whether they're going to appeal up to Judge Torres from NetBurn's decision or not, this window is this opportunity, because should they appeal, then it's an admission, right, to the Ripple team that obviously there's things in this we don't want you to see, and we're not able to redact them and cover them up. So it shows weakness on SEC side, right? So in this window before they get to that point of filing an appeal, this would be a time for SEC to really sit down and try to get what they want from Ripple before moving forward, because if they have to appeal, it is going to be an admission of weakness, no doubt about it. And if they have to turn up over the emails, I think we all know the SEC, I really will be shocked. I don't believe for a second that the SEC will ever turn these emails over. So it will be pretty exciting to see what happens over the next couple weeks with the SEC and whether they appeal or not. Now, let's take a look at this on price, because, you know, price boosted this morning. We saw more than 8% gains from early this morning to where we are now, and it's pulled back slightly. But this is Dark Defender, who came in and he had a post from yesterday that said basically the pattern has not yet completed. He's awaiting an explosive action. Today, he says, was this explosive XRP action? No. He said it will be towards $2.12 and $3.33, though. First pattern will be completed at $13. This is a confident man right here. He has been telling us these numbers for a very long time, and they align greatly, honestly, with CoinsKid and a couple other technical analysts we follow here. It doesn't mean they're right, but so far they haven't been wrong. They give us the support and resistance side to pay attention to when it comes to price. And looking at the price channel and the Elliott waves and the Fibonacci and everything else that we see them use for charting tools, this price is still bullish at my house too. But that's not financial advice from me or him or anyone else. That's just my digital perspectives. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below. I'll catch all of you on the next one.